Hi mga kawaw math! In this video, we will discuss factoring polynomials part 2. So, kung napanood natin yung previous video bago ito, so sana po pinanood muna natin yung previous video na nakafocus lang po sa factoring by GCF and common monomial factor, factoring difference of two squares, and factoring the sum and difference of two cubes. Now, this time, in this video tutorial, we will focus on factoring perfect square trinomials and factoring general trinomials of the form x squared plus bx plus c. And then, on our next video tutorial sa ating part 3, factoring by grouping naman tayo at factoring general trinomials of the form ax squared plus bx plus c. So this time in this video tutorial, we will focus on these two, perfect square trinomials and general trinomials of the form x squared plus bx plus c. So let's start. In factoring perfect square trinomials, so meron muna tayong dapat tandaan para malaman natin kung pwede ba nating gamitin ito dito sa trinomial na to. So ang una nating dapat makita o ma-check, dapat pag sinabi nating perfect square trinomials, itong dalawa, yung first term mo at yung last term mo, dapat parehong perfect square yan. Now, after mo kunin yung square root ng first term at yung last term mo at tinimes mo siya by 2, dapat ang magiging result ay yung middle term. That's why we have 2xy here. So again, bago tayo mag-factor ng perfect square trinomial, you have to check first your given. It must be, dapat yung first term at yung last term mo ay parehong perfect squares. And then, pag kinuha mo yung square root ng first term, which is x, at first square root din ng last term mo, which is y, dapat ang result nun, ita-times natin sa 2, the product must be your middle term. Okay? Pag hindi, hindi siya perfect square trinomials at hindi mo pwedeng gamitin ito. Okay? So, kapag paano, ma'am, kapag parehong perfect square ito, pero yung middle term hindi nag-satisfy doon. So, ang pwede mong gamitin ay yung nasa part 1 ng ating video tutorial. You can make use of the GCF, yung common monomial factor. Okay? So, this time, yun muna ang titingnan natin. So, kapag your sign here is positive, so, ito yung first term natin ha, ito yung last term. If your sign here is positive, so ang factored form niya, positive din. Okay, so x plus y squared or x plus y, x plus y. Okay, so pag nakuha mo yung square root nito, ilalagay mo siya dito, that is your first term. Pag nakuha mo yung square root nito, ilalagay mo siya dito, that is your last term. And that is your factored form. Okay? But make sure na bago tayo mag-factor, ang una muna nating titingnan is yung middle term. Dapat, aside from perfect square ito, dapat yung middle term mo satisfies doon sa ating product ng first and last term, twice the product of your first and last term. Okay? Now, if this is subtraction, so kung ito ay minus, so ito ay x minus y squared or the square of x minus y. So, yun lang naman ang pagkakaiba. So, ito lang titingnan natin. Kapag ang given na mo na perfect square trinomial ay positive ito, positive rin ang factored form. Pag negative siya, negative din ang factored form natin. Okay? And these two are the factored form of a perfect square trinomial. So, let's have an example. So, I have here x squared plus 10x plus 25. So, i-check muna natin bago natin gamitin ito. I-check muna natin kung perfect square ba to at perfect square ito. Kasi, yun muna. Hindi mo to pwedeng gamitin tong pattern na to kapag hindi siya perfect square trinomial. So, this is a perfect square kasi x squared siya. Okay, and this is also a perfect square. This is 25. So, therefore, 5 ang square root niyan. Okay? So, since ang first term natin ay perfect square at ang last term natin ay perfect square din, eto, lagi tong 2 ha, ita-times natin, kukunin natin yung twice the product of your first and last term. So, ilalagay natin dito sa first term at sa last term. Okay? So, pag nakuha mo yung square root nito, yung square root niya at yung square root nito, ita-times natin siya dito. Twice the product of your first and last term. So, pag chinek natin, check muna tayo ha, kasi dapat yung middle term mo mag-satisfy dito. So, 2 times 5, that is 10 times x, 10x. Or 2 times x, 2x, times 10, 10x. So, since nag-satisfy yung middle term mo dito sa given trinomial, therefore, we can make use of this. Okay. So, kapag nakuha na po natin yung ating first term, yung square root ng first term mo, at yung square root ng last term mo, which is 5, ano lang gagawin? Copy mo lang to, yan yung x mo, copy mo lang to. Yun na yung factored form. So, let's solve. So, ito, copy mo lang, and then copy mo lang to. So, ito na po ang ating factored form. Okay? So, x plus 5 squared, or pwede mo yun na-expand. X plus 5, x plus 5. Okay? Yun din yun. Next. So, ganun po ang ating gagawin. I-check muna natin kung parehong perfect square yung first and last. At kapag kinuha natin yung twice the product of the square root of your first and last, dapat mag-satisfy siya sa middle term. Yun ang tinatawag natin perfect square trinomial. So, you can make use of this. Okay? Pag hindi siya perfect square trinomial, hindi mo to pwedeng gamitin. Okay? Next. So, check natin to. 16 is a perfect square, also x squared. And then 81 is also a perfect square. So, check natin. So, what is the square root of 16? That is 4x. So, ito ay pag kinuha natin ang square root nito, that is x. And then square root of 81, that is 9. So, twice the product of the square root of first and last. So, lalagay natin dito yung square root ni first at square root ni last term. Okay, so i-check muna natin. Dapat mag-satisfy siya dito sa 72x. So, twice the product of the square root of your first term and your last term. So, 2 times 4x, that is 8x. 8x times 9, that is 72x. So, nag-satisfy siya dun. So, therefore, this is the factored form niya. Okay. So, let us now get the factored form of 16x squared plus 72x plus 81. So, kunin lang natin yung first. Ito yung first term natin. So, 4x. Kunin natin yung last term, yung square root ng ating last term, that is 9. So, this is your factored form. Next. So, I have here x squared minus 22x plus 121. So, as you can see, ito ay difference na po. So, therefore, ang factored form natin dito ay x minus y na po, squared. So, minus na to ha, kasi this is minus. So, dun lang naman siya nagkakaiba. Okay? So, i-check muna natin. Is this a perfect square? Yes. So, what is the square root? X. Is this a perfect square? Yes. What is the square root? 11. Now, kunin natin yung twice the product of the square root of your first term and your last term. Okay, kunin natin yung twice the product ng square root nitong dalawa. So, i-check natin. Negative 2 times x, that is negative 2x times 11. So, that is negative 22x. So, nag-satisfy siya dito. So, therefore, this is a perfect square trinomial. So, what is the factored form? Copy lang natin ito, and then copy nyo lang to. Now, take note ha, our sign here must be minus kasi this is subtraction. Okay, if this is addition, then this will become plus. Okay. Next. So, I have here 25m squared minus 20mn plus 4n squared. So, since minus ulit to, so minus ang ating factored form. So, check muna natin. Is this a perfect square? Yes, that is 5m. Kasi 5 times 5 is 25. And then, m times m, m squared. Next, is this a perfect square? Yes, that is 2. And then, n, kasi 2 times 2 is 4, n times n is n squared. Check natin ang middle term. So, kunin natin yung twice. Lagi po yan twice ha. Twice the product of the square root of your first term and your last term. So, yung square root po. So, 2 times 5, that is 10m 10m times 2n, that is 20mn. So, nag-satisfy siya doon. So, we can now get the factored form, which is this pattern. So, we are just following this pattern, ha. Ito po yung susundan natin. Okay? So, this will serve as our guide. So, ito yung first, ito yung last term. So, nakuha na natin yung square root ni first at ni last term. So, we will have now, copy lang natin, 5m and then 2n. Okay. Another. So, I have here 27a squared plus 72ab plus 48b squared. Okay. Is this a perfect square? No. This is a perfect cube. Is this a perfect square? No. Okay. So, paano natin siya gagawin? So, sabi ko nga, kaya ang lagi nyo munang unang gagawin, i-check nyo muna kung perfect square. Kasi kapag ganyan, hindi siya perfect square, hindi mo siya mapa-factor agad ng kagaya ng ginawa natin kanina na x plus y, x minus y squared. Okay, so, eto this time, since hindi siya perfect square, ang gagawin muna natin, by GCF muna tayo or by common monomial factor. So, ano po ang ating GCF? 3. Pag sinabing 3, ito yung GCF natin, ibig sabihin, ano yung meron sa kanilang lahat. Since ito ay 9 times 3, ito ay 16 times, ano to? Ito ay 16 times 3. So, ang gagawin po natin ay kukunin natin ang factors nitong nasa loob. Kukunin natin ang factors nitong nasa loob. Okay. So, itong factor out 3, yan ang gagamitin natin since ito ang kanyang GCF. Okay? So, since ang GCF niya ay 3, 27 divide 3, that is 9a squared. Okay? Okay. So, ito naman, 72 divided by 3, that is, it should be 24. Okay. So, again, 72 divided by 3, that is 24. Okay, not 4. So, 72 divide 3, that is 24ab, and then 48 divide 3, that is 16b squared. Okay, so, ngayon, kung mapapansin nyo, meron na tayong perfect square trinomial. So, minsan ganun, no? Kapag hindi perfect square yung ating first and last, i-factor out muna natin siya. Kapag nagpa-factor out tayo, kunin natin yung GCF. Paano kunin ang GCF? Pwede nyong balikan yung ating part 1 ng factoring polynomials. So, ito po, kunin na natin ngayon ang factor nitong 9a squared plus 24ab plus 16b squared. So, we will have, since ang pagkinuha natin ng square root nito, 3a, ang pagkinuha natin ito, this is 4b. So, yun ang ating first and last term. So, therefore, our factored form is 3 times the quantity of 3a plus 4b, or pwede rin pong 3 times 3a plus 4b and then 3a plus 4b ulit. Okay, since squared siya. Next. So, I have 4x cubed minus 24x squared plus 36x. So, again, ito po ba ay perfect square? No. Okay. Kung titingnan natin, ma'am, this is a perfect square kasi 2 times 2 is 4. This is a perfect square kasi 6 times 6 is 36. But, hindi lang tayo magfo-focus sa coefficient, ha? Also the variable. Since ang variable natin dito ay cube, so therefore, this is not a perfect square. Okay? Cube siya. So, i-factor out muna natin. Saan natin siya i-factor out? By 4x. So, factor out natin siya by 4x. So, paano po ang gagawin natin? We will have 4x cubed divided by 4x. So, that is x squared na lang kasi 3 minus 1 yan. When we are dividing exponents with the same basis, of course, we are subtracting their exponents. Okay? So, 3 minus 1, that is 2. So, 4 divide 4, that is 1. So, hindi na natin ilalagay si 1 dyan. Next, so minus ito. So, this is minus. 24 divide 4, that is 6. X na lang kasi 2 minus 1, that is 1. And then 36 divide 4, that is 9. So 1 minus 1, that is 0. So cancel na po yan. Okay? So now we have x squared minus 6x plus 9, which is now a perfect square trinomial. Okay? Why? Kasi pag kinuha natin ang square root nito, which is x, at ito ay 3, pag tinimes natin sa 2, so 2 times x times 3, 6x. Okay? Lagi po tayong twice the product ha, para ma-check natin kung nag-satisfy siya sa ating middle term. Okay? So, therefore, our factored form is 4x. Kunin natin ang square root nito, x. And then ito, 3. So, this is our factored form. Okay? Next. Okay. Now, next, let's have factoring general trinomials. Okay. But of the form of x squared plus bx plus c. So, actually, meron tayong dalawang form ng general trinomials. Yung una is x squared plus bx plus c. Yung pangalawa, yung susunod natin sa part 3 ay ax squared plus bx plus c. Okay. So, this time, ano po munang focus natin? Ito lang po munang x squared plus bx plus c. Now, how to factor general trinomials? So, first step, list all pairs of integers, which is represented as m and n, or pwede rin naman kahit anong variable, whose product is c. So, kukunin natin, kuha tayo ng dalawang integers na kapag minultiply natin, the result is your last term. Okay? Next, after getting the factors of your last term, choose a pair whose sum m plus n is b. So, after mong makuha yung mga factors ni c, so pag sinabing factors, kapag tinimes mo, ito ang magiging sagot. Now, aside from, magre-result siya dito, dapat yung kukunin mong factors ay, pag inad natin, dapat yung middle term ang maging result niya. So, ulitin ko, dalawa ang kailangan mong i-consider. Yung dalawang integers na kukunin mo, dapat pag minultiply yon, the result is your last term. Pag inad naman, the result is your middle term. Okay? So, same integers lang po. Okay, and then, so we have now x plus m, x plus n. So, ito po siya. Kapag binigyan po tayo ng general trinomials of the form x squared plus bx plus c at hindi siya perfect square trinomial. So, halimbawa, kagaya nga kanina, perfect square trinomial, madali lang, no? Paano kung hindi siya perfect square trinomial? Okay? So, ito po ang gagawin natin. So, x squared plus bx plus c, ang factored form niya ay x plus m, x plus n. Okay, so paano siya? So, if I have x squared plus bx plus c, ito po siya. Pag inad natin yung nakuha nating dalawang integers, dapat middle term ang result niyan. Pag minultiply naman natin sila, dapat ang result nun is your last term. Let's have an example. So, this will be our factored form. So, ito po yung pattern natin. Pag nakuha mo na yung factors na m at n, dito mo siya ipupwesto. And then, this is always x. Okay? Let's have an example. Now, I have here x squared plus 10x plus 16. Okay? So, una mong titingnan ito. Okay? So, una mo siyang titingnan. Kasi ang first step natin, list all pairs of integers whose product is c. So, hahanap tayo ng dalawang integers na kapag minultiply natin, ito yung c, ang maging result, yung last term mo. Now, para mas mabilis, tingnan mo yung sign nito. Since positive ito, ibig sabihin, dapat yung dalawang integers mo pareho ng sign. Ito yung palatandaan mo. So, since positive ito, yan ang palatandaan natin na ang factors natin, dapat ang kukunin natin parehong ng sign. Okay? Anong sign? That is the question. Tingnan mo naman to ngayon. Okay? So, anong sign? So, kung dapat pareho ng sign, ibig sabihin dapat parehong positive or parehong negative ang integers natin. So, ang focus natin, alin dito? So, tingin ka dito. Kung ano ito, since positive to, ibig sabihin, dapat ang integers mo parehong positive. Okay, so kunin na natin yung mga factors ni 16. So all positive lang ha, parehong positive. So 1 and 16, kasi 1 times 16 is 16. 2 times 8 is 16. 4 times 4 is 16. Okay, so nakuha na natin lahat ng factors ni 16. Next, choose a pair whose sum is B. So, alin dito, kagaya nga ng sabi ko kanina, 'di ba? Dapat ang factors niya pag minultiply natin, yung C ang magiging result. Pag inad mo naman yung middle term ang magiging result. So, alin dito yung kapag inad natin ay ang magiging result ay 10. Okay? So, it's obvious, it's 2 and 8. Okay? So, ito ang kukunin natin, si 2 at si 8. Now, ito ngayon ang magsisilbing M natin at ito ang N. Or pwede rin namang N, tas M, kahit naman magbaliktad yan. So, ito, di ba ang pattern natin kapag nagfa-factor tayo ng general trinomials? Pinakita ko to kanina, x plus m, x plus n. So, now, meron na tayong dalawang factors na ang result ay 16. Pag inad naman ay yung middle term. So, ito ang mga dapat mong i-consider ha. Hindi lang tayo basta kukuha na kung anong bet mo. Okay? So, 4 times 4, 16. Ito kukunin ko. Hindi po. Kasi pag inad mo yan, 4 plus 4, hindi siya 10. Okay? So, you have to consider also yung middle term. And then, so, since ito yung pattern natin, ito lang lagi. Ito ang guide nyo. So, ang factored form natin ng x squared plus 10x plus 16 is x plus 2 and x plus 8. So, ito yung m mo, ito yung n. Okay? Kaya nga sabi ko, pwede naman baliktad yan. Kasi pwede namang x plus 8 and x plus 2. So, kahit naman magpalit yan, okay lang po. Next. So, I have here, so tingin ulit tayo dito. Since positive ito, dapat ang factors natin, yung pair of integers natin ay pareho ng sign. So, dapat pareho silang positive or parehong negative. Now, alin dyan? So, tingin ka dito. Since negative ito, ibig sabihin, ito ang gagamitin natin. Dapat pareho silang negative. Okay. So, lista natin lahat ng mga factors na 18. We have negative 1 and negative 18, negative 2 and negative 9, negative 3 and negative 6. Okay. So, as you can see, wala akong nilagay na positive, no? Kasi ito na yung magiging palatandaan mo para mas mabilis. Yung iba kasi ang gagawin, ililista pa nila lahat. Okay? So, ito na yung parang cue mo dyan na kapag positive siya, dapat same sign. Kung negative ito, dapat parehong negative. Okay? So, ito na po siya. So, alin dito yung factors na kapag inad natin, ang result ay negative 9. Yung middle term. So, pili tayo dyan. Pag inad natin to, negative 19. Pag inad natin to, negative 11. Pag ito naman, negative 9. So, therefore, kukunin natin si negative 3 and negative 6. Kasi nag-satisfy siya doon sa middle term. Okay. So, this is our M. This is our N. Okay. Now, sundan lang natin yung pattern. This will serve as your guide. So, therefore, the factored form is x minus 3 and x minus 6. Okay. Ang question dito, bakit siya minus? This is plus. Okay? So, bakit? Kasi, kahit na gawin mo yung x plus negative 3 at x plus negative 6, since negative siya, magde-negative ka pa rin dito, kaya minus siya. So, positive times negative, negative pa rin. Positive times negative, negative pa rin. Kaya ang pinaka-shortcut dyan, kung ano yung sign mo, yun na siya. So, x minus 3, x minus 6. Okay? So, these are the factors of x squared minus 9x plus 18. Pwede bang magbaliktad? Yes. X minus 6, x minus 3. Kasi pareho lang naman silang minus. Okay? Next. I have here x squared minus 2x minus 24. So, kunin natin lahat ng pair of integers ni 24. But, ang titingnan muna natin ito. Since minus to, ibig sabihin, dapat ang pair of integers mo isang negative or isang positive. Okay? Isang negative, isang positive or negative. So, now, paano natin malalaman kung saan natin, since dalawang integer sila, saan doon yung positive at alin doon yung negative? So, dito tayo titingin. Since ito ay minus, ibig sabihin, dapat yung mas mataas na number mo, yun ang negative. Kasi dito ka titingin. Ulitin ko. Kapag ito ay minus, ito ang magiging palatandaan mo na ang integers mo dapat magkaiba ng sign. Okay. So, saan mo naman kung magkaiba sila ng sign, alin doon ang positive at negative? So, dito ka titingin. Since minus ito, ang negative ay ilalagay mo sa mas mataas na integer. So, lagay natin lahat. So, 1 times 24 is 24, 2 times 12 is 24, 4 times 6 is 24, 3 times 8 is 24. So, as you can see, lahat ng negative nilagay ko sa mas mataas na number. Okay? So, ito pong palatandaan natin dyan. Okay. So, alin dito ang kapag inad mo, ang magiging result ay negative 2. So, alin dyan? Pag ito inad natin, negative 23. Pag ito inad natin, negative 11. Negative 10. Pag ito naman, negative 2, ito ay negative 5. So, alin dito? Yes, yung 4 and negative 6. So, ito po siya, negative 2. Okay, so this will be your M, this is your N. So, sundan lang ulit yung pattern as your guide. So, the factored form is x plus 4, x minus 6. So, again, pwede rin naman baliktad. X minus 6, x plus 4. Okay? Let's have this one. So, ito naman, ganun ulit. Magkaiba ng sign kasi this is minus. So, magkaiba po dapat ang pair of integers natin. Magkaiba ang sign. Now, tingin tayo dito. Since positive ito, ilalagay natin yung positive dun sa mas mataas na number. Okay? O, ibig sabihin, yung mas mataas na integer mo, yun ang positive. Okay. So, lagay natin lahat ng factors ni 10. So, negative 1 and 10, negative 2 and 5. So, dapat magkaiba ng sign kasi ito ay minus. And then, yung larger integer, yun yung ginawa kong positive. Okay, so yan ang actually ang mga palatandaan natin dyan. Okay, now, given these factors, alin dito yung kapag inad natin, ang magiging result is yung middle term. So, kapag inad natin ito, this is positive 9, this is positive 3. So, alin dito? So, we will be using negative 2 and 5 because that is positive 3. Okay, nag-satisfy siya dun sa ating middle term. So, therefore, this is our M and N. So, following this pattern, ito gagamitin natin bilang guide ninyo. So, x minus 2 and x plus 5. So, x minus 2 and x plus 5. So, these are the factors of x squared plus 3x minus 10. Okay, another. So, this is positive. So, same sign tayo. It's either both positive sila or both negative. Tingin ka dito. So, since positive yan, ito ang gagamitin natin. Yung parehong positive. Okay? So, ano ang mga factors ni 3? So, 1 and 3 lang. Wala nang iba. Okay? Hindi tayo pwedeng mag negative 1 and negative 3 kasi ang sabi, parehong positive. Okay? Now, so wala tayong choice. Only these factors. So, i-add nga natin. So, since 1 and 3 is equal to 4, 1 and 3 is equal to 4, and it doesn't satisfy the given middle term. So, anong gagawin natin since this is 4? Okay? So, then, x squared plus 3x plus 3 cannot be factored using integer coefficient. So, kapag ganito, since nakuha natin yung factor nito na 1 and 3, pero hindi siya nag-satisfy doon sa ating middle term, therefore, it cannot be factored. Then, it is called prime trinomial. So, ito yung tinatawag nating prime trinomial. Kasi, na-factor nga natin yung c natin, yung last term, pero hindi siya nag-satisfy doon sa ating middle term. Dapat kasi, pag inad natin to, dito siya. Ito yung result. Okay, so kapag ganyan, it cannot be factored and this is what we called, or this is an example of prime trinomial. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you learned something. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell para updated kayo for more video tutorials. This is your guide in learning your math lessons, your Wow Math channel.